So now let's move on. We are going to talk about another topic, and that is the early edition of MOBAs. I find lately that a lot of people are announcing MOBAs very early on in their development cycle. Heroes of the Storm is in its tech alpha right now, but it's still playable. Blizzard is allowing a few select fans and members of the press to get in on it. And then there are other games that are just, I feel like every MOBA releases in a beta.
Yeah.
Now it seems like every game releases a beta.
Yeah.
But, MOBAs have been doing it
or
for a really long time. Dota was in a beta, and League of Legends were in a beta for years and years and years. So what do you guys think about sort of the early editions of MOBAs? Do you think it's a good thing that they're coming out so early, or a bad thing?
It's weird, right? Because you have the idea of an early access game or an alpha or a beta is this game is incomplete. It needs to be fine-tuned, that kind of thing. So it feels a bit like you're being robbed if you're paying for any of it. Like if you're, if it is a pay-to-play MOBA, if you have to buy characters to unlock them, that can feel a little bit cheap. But at the same time, I feel like that fan feedback, those adjustments are absolutely necessary before something is out to the public. You need that feedback. You need to be able to tune it based on, you have X amount of QA testers, but that's not the environment that game will launch in. So how do you replicate that?
The community steers that ship.
Yeah, and they will for years and years and years.
Yep.
And the earlier you can involve them, the healthier your game is going to be. So, I don't know. I think it's beneficial. It's a little bit of a gray area when it comes to, you can buy stuff in Heroes of the Storm right now, and you get your money back when the game launches, in terms of, credit.
But are you spending on something that you're like, oh, maybe I don't like the way the balance changes when
Right. I bought Nova, and they nerfed her, and now I don't want to play her anymore.
Yeah.
Crap. That kind of thing. You run it. It's a huge risk. As the early access stuff tends to be.
I don't know. Players are going to pick your game apart, and they're going to find the little skill combinations you didn't think would break the game. I think it's super important. You let people into MOBAs, and they're going to do everything they can with those characters, and they're going to... QA teams are great, obviously, but it doesn't substitute thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you do need to control. This is a very PR thing, but control the message that we're taking feedback, and it's not going to remain the same. It's not going to remain what it is. We're literally here to do balance.
You've got to be super transparent, and Blizzard is that.
Yeah.
It's a technical alpha. You're here because we are using you. Pay us if you want to. We'll give you the money back, but we are tuning stuff. Stuff is going to change. Be aware that this is a tech alpha.
Yeah.
How many people don't know what an alpha is? Alpha is basically first playable state, where it's okay, this is mostly feature complete. Now we have to fine tune it. Beta is even more feature complete, where we can't add anything else. We just need to iron out what's here and ship it. So this is early. Heroes of the Storm is probably not coming out for a while.
Right. And
how long was Dota in beta?
Years.
2 or 3 years, right?
It was a really long time.
Yeah, they announced it in 2010.
So much changed from beta to launch to what's out even now.
Yeah.
So, like you were saying, so much can change in Heroes of the Storm from now until when it's out. They're going to add tons of more characters. They're going to add more modes, probably. It's crazy. So, I feel like it's smart, like you guys were saying, for the developers to be able to have all of this feedback. But I don't know. I also get a little bit apprehensive when they release them so early.
Yeah, you can get burned out. I definitely I played Smite right when it came. I was in the beta for Smite, and I was like, oh, this is cool, and I just didn't touch it ever again.
Right.
We're gonna go back because it's been a while, and I want to try it again. But
and now you'll get to see that change, right?
Yes.
You'll get to see I was there ground floor, and it's months and months later.
I really like that, being there, kind of along for the ride as things change. Going back to Dota 2, when Earth Spirit came out, he was the most broken hero in the whole game, and it's just fun seeing that.
We were watching a video earlier of just his ridiculous chase.
He's so stupid, ban Earth Spirit.
I remember in the early parts of the Smite beta, just playing the game and thinking it didn't look all that beautiful. Yeah. But then at launch, they have added so much, so many beautiful graphics and just effects that make the maps look awesome in Smite now. And it's fun to just kind of compare back and forth with the beta, especially with that game. I like it a lot. I think they made a lot of good
Yeah, and
changes.
you've seen Dawngate change a lot too, even in the short amount of time it's been in beta. They changed the entire way that towers function because they experimented with, like, what if a tower could come back? Nope, nobody likes that. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
It's also really interesting to see stuff. What's going on with League of Legends right now is they're doing visual overhauls, which means the characters like Karthus and everything that came out pretty early, and
With their low-res models.
yeah, the models, like, I think like Twitch didn't have feet. Like one of the characters just didn't have feet. He just had like this like giant coat that like covered his feet.
It's just like Fire Emblem.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Just all triangle legs.
I like the Heimerdinger remodel.
Oh my
was
God,
amazing.
His hair / brain is awesome.
So how
So
many
good.
hero or champions are they doing this for?
How many shapers?
I think they have like 5 or 6 in like their queue.
Okay.
But the most recent one is like Karthus, and it looked off. It did not match the rest of like the visual style. So they're like, oh, we kind of have to go back.
Right, the aesthetic is off. We need to kind of unify it.
Yeah, which is cool. Which is interesting in terms of development. Like that was probably really early, and they probably only had like 2 or 3 people working on it. Now they have an entire team, so they can kind of change the game now.
So do you think that if, you're a fan of MOBAs and you get a beta invite that you should play it, or should you wait until the game actually launches? I mean, what would you say?
I mean, it depends on your interest in it, right? Like, if you're really excited for Heroes of the Storm and you get a Tech Alpha invite, if you want to play it, play it. Like, you don't lose anything by trying to see if it's something you're into. Most MOBAs are free, so it doesn't really cost you anything to jump in and mess around with a few heroes. I say go for it.
I would agree. I mean, it just comes down to that same thing we've talked about before, which is if you want to get good at a MOBA, you have to put literally hundreds of hours into it.
Yeah, I
And
played
there's just no
198
time.
games of Dota, and I'm terrible at Dota.
Yep.
And I will continue to be terrible at Dota for 198 more games.
For me, it's more of a, like, Dota's my jam, but then I will go explore other MOBAs for a while just to see what's happening in that
of course.
space.
Mm-hmm.
So
What are they
Yeah.
doing differently? What makes
Exactly.
it interesting?